Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich Ukraine. Let us continue on for last left off. So, tomorrow is the big day, the election, 1937. The first election, first free election in Ukraine since 1919, I think, is the lore. Anyways, we should, in just a moment, the election has... Okay, actually, before we read about the election, the relevant polls petition the government. Does this make any difference? Because now, more support, land reform score +1. We'll do land reform score. Anyway, the election ends. After a month of campaigning, politicking, election learning, the election slowly draw to a close. On the 21st of July, 1937, millions of people cast their votes to determine who will lead the nation. Votes were counted late into the night, and by dawn, the results were announced. The URDP emerged as a plurality holder. After reaching out to the USDRP, they quickly formed a coalition and thus secured a majority. The Workers' Democratic Union came into formal opposition, along with the right-wing candidates, who barely secured enough votes to remain in the National Zobri. Who will have secured the party nomination to the position of chairman remains yet to be seen. Okay, so the URD becomes the ruling party. Election will not be... public elections will be held. Probably appoint Andriy Nalovsky, .1... Why are you compliance gain? Social Democrats, market liberals will join the coalition, activate missions, promises to deindustrialize... Okay. Now, promise to industrialize, we need to get up to 40 points. Very poor. We need 40 points in 300 days, which honestly, we're already at 22. And then you'll get us up to 22. What's 22 plus 3? It's 25, my friends. So we're basically already there. And then what are you? Okay. Republican administration. Last election forces to make a compromise, promises then to coalesce against another party. It's only a matter of taking action, ensuring that the coalition government of the Restored People's Republic can weather the storm and ensure a popular, stable government. Currently, the attitude towards us is indifferent, which is negative 0.1. We want to be more cooperative. Concede to the opposition. Political power plus 75. Influence of the right, center, and left is moderate. Well, I don't want to do this quite yet, presumably. Actually, do I want to even take the railway guns right now? They're not needed until the war actually begins. So, you know what? We'll cancel that. What do we want? What do we want? Right-wing extremist or tighten the reins on the radical leftist. So the right and the center gain influence, the left will lose some influence. Convert half of syndicalist and radical social popularity into social democratic popularity. Political power plus 50. If the URDP right has high influence, we'll gain 100. And then political power plus 50. Paternal autocracy and national populism goes down. The right loses influence. We'll gain more support with the USDRP. Half of syndicalist and radical socialist, which is... That is like 10 points. Which does seem... But the thing is, the URDP has high influence. So I mean, I would like to have some more influence. On cooperative... Let's respect judicial independence. Everyone gets some influence to get 25 political power. If we can get the rights to have high support, and we can get that 100 political power from reining in the left a little bit, then we can get like a ton of reforms through, which sounds pretty good. The coalition, unlike the hetmans, as opposed to the shaky foundations of the early People's Republic, the new coalition government finds itself in much safer waters. Some sense of normalcy has returned to the country, and the elections have had little violence or intimidation. Hopefully, this is a sign of things to come. Led by the URDP first and the USDRP section, this is not a government that some had hoped for. For them, the moderate progressive administration is certainly much better than the hetman, but may not go far enough in its efforts to properly transform Ukraine away from almost 2 decades of neglect. Thus, there are hopes that the USDRP and the coalition will at least be able to properly sway the URDP into a more leftwards direction. Whether those hopes will bear any fruit remains to be seen. For sure, keeping the USDRP happy will be a tall task, but it'll be a very important one. Concessions will have to be made if the first real people's government is to survive and truly deliver on its promises, as well as set a good precedent for the future. Depending on the USDRP's attitude towards us, we will see various modifiers. These modifiers can be changed to focus on our events. Keeping a good relation with the USDRP will be crucial for our government. It may be, and there may be consequences should a relationship break down. Okay. You can see your decision for more. Check the description for Radical Touch for more clarification. Okay, popular consciousness. We get more support for liberal and social democracy just passively. The election of a chairman. Before the election, Alexander Shulin seemed to be a safe bet for the chairman in case of the URDP victory. Diplomatic yet principled Shulin has guided the URDP through hard times, and it's a widespread support base, even outside of his party. However, another candidate has also been brought to the national world's consideration, Vasil Vashivani, Ukraine's own Habsburg prince. He's a more divisive choice. His supporters, many having already fought under Vasil's command during the Great War, see Vasil as a true patriot, one who is not Ukrainian merely because he was born there, but by choice and by personal conviction. His opponents claim that electing Habsburg over a native Ukrainian seems like bowing down to Vienna, and they're a question of honesty of Vasil's motives. Once all the votes are counted, the victor is... So what are you? War support... Support for socialism goes up, war support stability goes up, and just passive social liberal support. Whereas you're 5% 5% stability, but you save us a lot of potential on I mean, minus 30. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's keep Alexander here, just for right now. And I would also still like for our troops to be able to march their way towards Bucharest. Let's pull you back one province. The three pillars of the party. With the coalition talks finished, a new political landscape is gradually emerging. The URDP, as a senior party in the ruling coalition, is poised to occupy a key position in it. The party, however, is not a monolithic structure, so the post-election government reflects not only the compromise reached with the USDRP, but also the existing intra-party factionalism. Alexander Shulin represents not only the party at large, but also its centrist faction specifically, and has been elected as the chairman of National Assembly. The party center is assembly less bound together by strong ideological vision, more by a matter of practicality. It serves as a bedrock for the party's administration and is largely responsible for running the political machine. After all, only a well-organized party will be able to uphold ideals of progress and democracy in these trying times. Andrei Nolovsky, one of the leading figures of the party's left wing, has been confirmed as the head of the Council of People's Ministries. The left faction has been steadily growing as a result of Hetman's inability to address numerous social issues, combined with the political vacuum left after the suppression of the USDRP and other left-leaning forces. The party's left advocates for strong state control over crucial economic sectors, champions social progressive causes, and brings a healthy dose of constructive radicalism to the overall URDP vision. Finally, the position of leadership of the UDRP's parliamentarian faction has been bestowed upon Vladimir Dolenko, one of the heads of the party's right wing. Its main interests lie in support of the grassroots capitalism of small and middle and cooperative enterprises, combined with the advocacy of the interests of the small and middle landowners. This focus on the peasantry is the reason why the URDP's right faction places high hopes on the success of the land reform and keeps ties with the Orthodox Church, whose sway in the countryside remains quite formidable. Managing the three factions of the URDP can be a rather fickle. Having the influence of the faction be high may improve some effects on our focuses, but they also might bring down the influence of other factions given enough time. Additionally, if a faction remains low for too long, it may revolt within the party, greatly damaging our ability to govern. It would be best to avoid such a scenario while attempting to maximize the benefits and avoid factionalism. Excellent. Which we've already have seen here. The right gains influence if we lose some in score. Center gains some influence if we spend 25 political power. Or we can support progressive reforms if we have enough land points here. Which I mean, I want to get this finished. We get 25 political power, 5% more support for war, social liberalism is this passes. Because right now they're moderate. I wouldn't mind potentially getting the URP right to gain influence. Because again, that allows us to do tighten down the reins of the radical left a little bit more, which would be good for us. Okay, Italian states declare war in Italy. Do we want to send troops to Italy? I think the answer is probably yes. Go take Bucharest, go take here. You move one province down. How many troops can I send to... We can send one troop? Okay, well then for right now, let's just send you over. They should be fine. Okay, there goes Bucharest. Very, very happy to see it. And then we want to go take whole Bucharest. You're taking some penalties. We do have a German unit, though, going in there for the assistant. And as again, if we can hold this province, we'll be pretty happy. Hungary's collapsed. Happy about that as well. Well, we're not going to press any of these buttons. At least right now. We will ignore those. Red Army move you here. The new Crimean government. As the election wraps up, the conversation has been shifting over to the government formation in Simferopol. Is that Sevastopol? Yes. Expectedly, the Mili Furqua has gotten the most votes, followed closely by the Crimean Radical Democratic Party. After much deliberation, deputies of the Regional Assembly have decided to elect Asin Sabir Azizov as the moderate liberal faction of the Middle Africa as the new leader of Crimea. Okay, I'll take the 10 political power. See no reason to say no to that one. Again, their supplies here should basically still be cut off. Okay, infantry division. You know what? Let's establish you. Not the planes. At least not yet. Let's establish you. You guys can once again be Yellow Army. We'll just station you down here. Throw in whoever, who cares. Okay, and how are you guys doing? Looking pretty good. If I move our troop one more province up, all these troops in Oltenia will be pretty much stuck. The peasant strikes. The group of peasants have gone on strike protesting the government for their inaction concerning land reform. What do you mean? It's been like fucking like 2 days. You assholes! Like, this one's almost done. I mean, I know we're only at 4 points, but like, still, grow up. You fuckers. Okay, our troops have arrived now. Let's station you near Rome. Let's throw in this guy in charge. I want you on this line if possible. 86. I would like to take the supply hub if we can. Cheating the system. Some landowners have found a way. God damn it. Right, we're down to what, 2 now? It's pretty bad. Okay, 83%. I see Romania's making some pushes here. I'm not happy about that. Support weapons are done. You know what? Let's go radio. You want radio at some point anyway, so it's not like it's that bad. Station you guys here. How's our troops doing, by the way? 31 out of 43. Not too bad. I don't like how this is kind of completely collapsing in on itself. And I don't even... I guess because there's too many troops kind of dealing with this like, shenanigans. Which I'm not happy with. Land reform goes by 3. Country reborn. Sounds good. 40 days we'll get those lands councils done. We're 22-2. High now for the right. So actually, I want to cancel you for now. I then want to rein in the leftist. That'll give us 100 political power. Then we might need to... the voice of the peasantry. Organize to defend peasant interests in local government policies, as well as contribute to the ongoing land reforms. The UPSR has now reestablished the peasant union. Okay. Let's give them some state support. We have 59 points that'll allow us to do... some oil. Yeah, oil's good. I love oil. Tractors, tractors, tractors. Thanks to caps of land rent, more and more farmers are able to afford modern farming equipment. Give me 30 more points here, please. I think we might need to send some more troops to Bucharest. Animated invitation to Odessa. A little known facet about Ukrainian culture is the homegrown animation industry, which has recently received wider international attention. It originated in the Odessa Film Studio, a company formed when the native Ukrainian film studio merged after struggling to stay afloat after the Civil War. Under the auspices of a man named Vladislav Lewandowski, who is praised as the father of Ukrainian animation, a student of ballet and a graduate of the Kiev Academy of Arts, Lewandowski was drawn to the Odessa film industry, where he initially worked with puppets, stop-motion animation, and rotoscoping, creating the first Ukrainian animated film, Strobel, in 1927. He soon grew interested in celluloid animations developed by Walt Disney Productions and Fleischer Studios, as well as these sound synchronized with animation. Lewandowski and other Ukrainian animators were mainly introduced to these concepts through the cultural magazine Dildo, The Deed, published in Galicia, but which were shared among intellectual circles in Ukraine. In time, Lewandowski moved away from puppets and started using cell animation, beginning his work with most well-known cartoon Tuk Tuk Ta Yoho Prosty Zuk, Tuk Tuk and his friend Zuk, in 1928. Well, congratulations to animation. Hopefully Ukrainian anime will pop off sooner than later. I don't like what's happening here. The developments I am a little worried about. I want you pulling back here. I want you to go to Bucharest, please. If we can take this supply hub, that'd be good. I want to make sure we're not going to get encircled. I don't think we will. But in the off chance something might crazy. You know, I'm going to skip this song. It's very loud. Maybe I just got to turn down the audio in the future. Between episodes. Turn down the in-game music a little bit. Okay, we've secured this supply hub. Is it connected to the main rail station? It's not, because Romanian and Bulgarian train networks basically just are not connected in any way. How are you guys doing, by the way? Not bad, honestly. Give you a little bit of support here where we can in to Sicily. So I don't know if we want to send any troops to go support the Italian Republic. I am not happy with how this is going. Let's go back to Bucharest, please. I want to hold this city for obvious reasons. How are you guys doing? Did me taking Bucharest screw the AI a little bit? Growth of the URB right means that everyone else is going to lose influence. Okay. Well, I want this to finish first, and then we want to make sure the right can maybe lose a little bit of power. A progressive force. 18 years since the existence under the Hetman system affected the political trajectory of the URDP in various ways. Permanently residing in the opposition, acting as virtually anti-socialist political landscape, it was forced to perform a careful balancing act to champion its progressive policies while giving authorities any reason to suppress the party as a hotbed of dangerous radicalism. These circumstances eventually led to the formation of 3 factions in the party. The rise of each one of them is a reaction to the pressures of the Hetmanate. While the right largely limited its focus in the concerns of landowning peasants, the center followed the old credo of the party of responsible statesmen. It became a faction of compromise. The left, meanwhile, sought to fill the niche freed after the ban of openly socialist forces. Elaborating on the more idealistic strands of the party's own doctrine, combining them in ideological legacy of legal Marxism and other reformist tendencies of the former empire. It eventually formed its platform. A proper transition to just and equal society was to be achieved not through wholesale rejection of capitalism, but by its carefully controlled development. The modernization influence brought by the capitalist system has been acknowledged, together with the utmost importance of curtailing its inevitable excesses. So, unsurprisingly, the relative influence the parties left has helped during the negotiation with the USDRP. While both parties have worked together during the fateful days of 1917-1918, there were concerns that passing years had pulled them too far apart. The confirmation of Noski as the head of the cabinet, however, seems to indicate that the USDRP trusts our party enough and is ready for cooperation. Does that mean that we are now... Okay, they're still indifferent, unfortunately. I don't like this situation that's developing here, unfortunately. Actually, I want you to go back. I want you to come and get these encirclements done. Hold position. Move your way back here to deal with this. Reconciliation with the agrarian Democrats. One thing that the URDP lacks is common with the other political forces in the People's Republic was its legal status during the Hetmanate era. Though it's still a progressive reformist force during that time, the Hetmanate system greatly suppressed strong ideological sentiments, leading to a party become somewhat ideologically diluted as a result. Much of the same can be said about the UDKHP. Many had joined the party not out of ideological convictions, but simply a desire to find a place in the political sphere. Now the tables have turned, and the UDKHP have been turning to near irrelevancy by the political shakeup, as well as the fact that the more the Ukrainian right wing is turned towards the UNP, a new development has occurred. A number of independents, formerly part of the UDKHP, who have been exiled by the party before the elections due to the party's association with Hetman's policies, are now seeking membership of the URDAP. We can worsen, we can get some influence. Negative 75 political power, huh? I don't like either of these, to be honest. I'm going to... Uncooperative is bad, I will say that. Political power plus 75. 179 days until this is done. We got to make them at least indifferent. This also makes them hate us more. Overall, like, it's not, like, great for us at the moment. And I understand that. But I believe I believe in our ability to turn this around. We have 95 political power. Is there anything I can do here? Left gains influence or right gains influence? Let's do small farm subsidies. That seems okay for now. We're still at 25, 235 days until you're ready to go. Turn this off for now. We're going to get a lot of political power soon, okay? But also, I want you to not make things worse for me. A recent deal struck between the party and the group of independent deputies affiliated with the UDKHP and the protests opened new opportunities for us. The cultivation of close ties with business circles might not only contribute to overall development of a healthy economy, but also help in the party directly. Still, it's useful to remember the lessons of the previous administrations. Under no circumstances should our government become a hostage of large capital, like had often happened during the Hetmanate times. That's exactly why the latest proposal raised by certain circles in our party caused quite a commotion. The proposal in question was concerned with the Fedorchenko, an influential aviation industrialist with extensive connections with the now defunct Protifs. Turchenko is an apt organizer who started with aircraft workshops and ended with the establishment of the largest aviation manufacturer in Ukraine. His path, however, has made significantly easier by his patronage of his immensely wealthy family and by large state subsidies, acquired mostly through the Protiv's lobbying efforts. Still, Fedorovich is genuine and is considered expertise, and that's why some suggest bringing him in to be one of the state's planning boards overseeing the industrialization program. Maybe we want to go with it is too far, even though the 10% is nice. I can't have the Social Democrats hate us too much. Is there anything we can do to this will worsen? We want this to improve, so we want to 50% stability. Negative 50% consumer goods, though, is quite nice. So we're going to rein in radical leftist. And then delegate controls over to the People's Militia. So we can get a little bit more support. The right will lose influence here. Municipal... Okay. I see. Nothing personal, just business. The Black Monday crisis led to an unprecedented level of withdrawal from foreign investments in our country. Unsure about the future of the Ukrainian markets, international capital largely decided to cut losses, only barely halted by the promise of the relief bill. Even this relative calm didn't last for long, as the revolt and subsequent Republican victory shattered what little confidence remained in Ukrainian stability among foreign businessmen. Many of them, initially drawn to Ukraine by the promises of cheap labor, weak unions, and enforcing relegations, realized that the preferable conditions might soon come to an end. Others, confusing our righteous rebellion with some communist putsch, started to fear that their enterprises would be forcibly confiscated by the state. A ridiculous notion, but nonetheless damaging our credibility. Regaining the trust of foreign investors is an important test for our reforged republic, one that will show if the government's mature enough to make necessary compromises in the name of the common good. At stake is not only the economic stability or international credibility, but the very future of Ukraine as a modern state. Foreign expertise is indispensable for a successful industrialization and overall development for our country. It will be a long process, but the first steps might be relatively simple. A firm commitment to the rule of law, a staunch rebuke against any prospects of revolutionary excesses, will showcase the seriousness of our intentions. Utilizing our remaining connections among the circles of the now defunct Protivs might convince those still on the fence. A complex and stopgap legislation measures regarding tax policy might win us some time, but without a doubt upset our partners in the coalition. Still, something must be done, and necessary decisions must be taken quickly. Okay. Right gains influence, relationship will worsen. This option is available because you have taken the focus on respect judicial independence. Okay, the center will gain more power. I really do not want the... We just need to get up to indifferent, right? Like, when they're in indifference, everything should be more okay. Right now it's October 37. Let's go for Excavation 2 because it's pretty cheap. And when can I actually ask Austria to give me Galicia? July. Okay. Election 38 has occurred. This is in Poland. Okay. So you need Poland to also be not a shit show. But I'll say that at least... Oh, you guys actually are... We're actually doing really, really well in Italy. I will say it at least right now, though, this is a really good point for us to end this episode. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoy, click thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.